hello there guys, this is Agrippa Maxinius, and it's been quite a while here since I have attempted an Ultimate General Gettysburg battle. There's been a few updates here that really, in my opinion, have made the game look a lot prettier. And right now, what we're trying to do is actually win a battle that I have not been very successful with in the past, and that is going to be Culp's Hill. So one thing I'm going to do is, first of all, bring some of these Union men up here to assist in defending against this massive Confederate attack over here by Stewart and Jones and the rest of these guys. We also want to retake the hill, and that in itself is going to be quite a fight. One thing I want to do is obviously get our guys over here by Powers Hill. I also want to see if Dilger can go ahead and start firing on the enemy, and it looks like Cushing's already got a pretty good firing position. But one thing that I've learned is it's always better to move these guys together. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to put these cannons here, Cooper, Stevens, Stewart, all of these guys essentially. And as you can see, we've got a few divisions arriving on the field. Whether or not they're going to arrive in time is an entirely different story. I'm actually going to move Biddle up to try to stop Gordon's charge, because you can see that Brooke here doesn't have very good positioning. Look at those Confederates go down as they're charging. It's a nasty charge, though, by the Confederacy. And right now, I'm actually concerned Baxter may be caught in this. All right, so far we're doing good with Brown here. Let's see how we would do with some canister shot. I mean, some shell shot. We may actually be able to hit them, and I'm definitely going to take that opportunity. Thankfully, our guys are still moving forward. I'm going to go ahead and use this guy, Gibraltar Brigade, as basically a reinforcement for Standard. And here we go. We'll start bringing these guys up, too. We're just going to try to do a major counterattack. And look at that. We're getting a lot of cannons here. I'm going to put them on top of this hill over here to stop this right flank attack, because we already know it's going to be heavy. We're going to have to do everything we can to stop it. Let's see what's going on here. Wow, a nasty fight. I think it's probably not a bad idea to go ahead and run Biddle over here and maybe have him do a charge, because right now they're sending everything at us, and we can't hold this area while also dealing with close combat. Look at this battle. This is intense, guys. I'm actually going to switch to shell shot. They're throwing Louisiana Tigers at us, too. Shell shot, or actually canister shot. And let's see if Biddle is ready to charge. I think he is. Here we go with Biddle. Of course, we still got these guys right in front of Zeus. I don't know why he's not paying attention to them, but wow, the Confederates are absolutely charging this hill. This may be the biggest charge I have seen in this game. Absolute madness. I think it's probably not a bad idea to bring Baxter down and start firing on Smith. Let's bring the Ducktail Brigade up here. Same with Paul. We'll also move Woodruff up here. At least Baxter is getting some great shots on Smith. This battle continues, and the enemy is also going to be charging us here. I'm holding my position. I'm not charging. I will maybe take Cross here and reorder him so that he's aiming towards the enemy like this. Wow, a massive attack by the enemy here. We need Bucktail fast. Right now our men are getting slaughtered. But they're putting up a crazy fight. You could just imagine the amount of bloodshed happening here. We want to do everything we can to get into position. Now I'm going to go ahead. The Iron Brigade is known for its charges. I'm going to charge the enemy with the Iron Brigade. I'm also going to charge with the Irish Brigade, despite the fact that they don't have many men here. But I really just want to do everything we can to retake this position. So let's go ahead. We'll take Cutler here. Take Cross. He'll join as well. Right now the enemy is actually taking this position. So I want these guys here quickly. I don't feel very good, honestly, about having to run with them, but we may have to do that. Let's go ahead. Canister shot for these guys. Give them a healthy dose. Come on, boys. I guess they're afraid to shoot because of our men in the way, but we need to shoot. If we don't, we're going to lose here. Let's go ahead. Please start opening fire on the enemy here with Cutler. And let's hit Iverson too, because he's coming in to support. But man, this is a crazy attack. Let's see, at least over here in the this area, we're doing okay. For whatever reason, it looks like Schmiffelnig and Stewart have become buddies and no longer want to attack each other. Let's bring Paul up here as well. We're going to have to take this position back. And I hope that it's just going to be an utter bloodbath here for the enemy, because I think they may have made a mistake charging, especially since we have this uphill advantage here. I definitely want to run into position here and start shooting, and we'll bring Hall up to possibly assist us in the charge. There we go. Our cannons are finally firing, but they're firing at Smith, who, to be honest with you, you can see he's got nearly no men left. Let's go ahead. We'll get Baxter to shoot at Avery here. And really what we need to do is turn this situation around. Look at those Confederates running away. Doesn't look like they like to be in this position at all. Let's go ahead. We're going to hold with Cutler here. I want to hold and start firing and get back into a more organized formation so that we can take this position back. The way I see it, if we can throw more and more lead at these guys and stay in our position on the hill, we may be able to take this area back, and we may not even need a charge to do that. These guys are tired out from this nasty bayonet combat, and the last thing that they want is to have to deal with even more of it. Look at that. Finally, our canister shot is shooting really well. The enemy's pulling back. Look at that. Look at how many men are dead on the field. That is amazing. I want to go ahead and get Bucktail to start shooting at these guys, especially the Tigers. You guys that watch my videos regularly for Ultimate General Gettysburg know that the Tigers are a pain in the ass. No other way to really put it. They are tough. So we're going to go ahead, moving forward with the Tigers. And again, our main goal in this battle is to retake Culp's Hill. So I don't know what's going to happen if we don't manage to do that. So let's start moving forward with these guys. Trying to just overwhelm the opponent and retake our positions. And look at that. I mean, so many men died in this close combat. I'm guessing a lot of them will be wounded. Post down below. I'm always curious about this sort of stuff, about the Civil War, etc. Do you guys think that bayonet wounds, something like that, let's say if you get a bayonet wound to the stomach, or maybe to a less serious area, for instance, if you get a bayonet wound maybe to the leg or something, you know, what are the chances for survival there, and how bad of a wound is that? Is it like a street fight where you can get stabbed and possibly survive, or are you pretty screwed when you get hit with a bayonet? Let me know down below. I'm kind of curious. At this point, we're still fighting for that hill. We've taken it back, and that's a great sign, but I want to make sure that we reorder ourselves in a good position. Baxter here seems to be really wanting to go ahead and attack the enemy, and I don't want him to do that just yet. Let's move Paul up here, see if we can go ahead and get behind the enemy here. We'll take the Gibraltar Brigade too. We're going to see if we can flank. I think for this side over here, we're doing fine. Gibbs could probably fire some shell shot to give us just that little added advantage. So let's do that and make sure Willard is firing at Stewart too. Standard is getting pulled back by Jones, but it looks like Jones is in the same predicament. He doesn't really want to get back up on top of Powers Hill. And to be honest, this is a position, it's like Hill 116 in Vietnam. It's not even a necessary hill, but for whatever reason they're trying to take it because they need to take it to get to this next area over here. Looks like we've got Von Gilsa over here, still able to fight. We'll move Koster up. We'll move Harrow up. In fact, I may want to leave Harrow in that position. Yeah, I'm not sure that these guys are going to be able to hold on if we keep Harrow there, so I'm going to keep him back. Of course, we're still fighting with these Confederates. At this point, Bucktail has gotten into a nasty fight with Semmes, but I want him to stop. As I said before, I want him to hold the position and just hold the line. We're bringing the general in to give some morale, and then and look at this. Oh my goodness. All right, we've got some more men moving up. We want to bring them in. Von Gilsa. I don't like to see how Jones is moving here, especially not with Stewart and his massive amount of men hanging out over here. Let's move Smith up. We're going to move the rest of these guys up. I may even move these cannons up so we get a closer shot. And let's grab... Wow, I didn't even realize this. We're going to grab these guys and flank the shit out of the enemy. Sorry not to put that in more family-friendly terms, but I can't believe we have this here. Let's see what we can do. Let's also bring the 5th Corps. I'm going to bring them nice and steady behind these men. And as for Weed here, good friend of mine, we're going to move him up as well. We'll leave Burbank here, and we'll move Day up to the north. Because I know that the enemy's going to try another attack on this hill, but look at that. It's going to be hard for them to even get over the bodies to get on this hill. All right, here we go. I may need to rename my most popular video for this game because I've never seen an attack like this. Let's hold with these guys. But Gibraltar Brigade is in the fight, man. He definitely decided to move up. And pretty soon here, I think I'm going to charge with Paul. We are going to charge into Barksdale. I don't usually do this with the Union, but in this case, we already have a really nice position of defense up here on top of the hill, and I think it might just help us. Might change the course of battle. As you can see, I'm leaving Brooke here. I'm going to leave Harrow here too. We'll see if Brown can fire some shell shot over here at McNoll. And we want to make sure that McNoll is getting hit by Standard as well as Webb here. Or Nickel, rather. Wow. I saw that as McNoll. Okay, at this point, we've got 2 generals here. We could probably send one of these boys back to help our men and assist them in this fight here. but I don't really worry too much about these guys moving up. So I'm actually going to take Von Gilsa and move him back up this way to the center, because we have these guys moving in, and look at how beautiful their formation is. Just awesome. All right, let's see. Iverson is still in pain, and I'm going to bring the Irish Brigade. Despite the Irish Brigade having few men in it, they're great shots. As you can see, they got a 3-star general there, corporal, or I should say 3-star colonel, 3-star colonel Patrick Kelly, and they do great shooting here. They're not very afraid. I've rarely seen them run despite their low numbers. And there we go. It looks like the enemy is attempting another charge, and hopefully our guys down here are going to be able to move in and take the hill here. That's really what we want to do. So we're going to keep on moving until we engage the enemy here. And I may even move forward with the rest of these guys. Give the enemy a run for their money. They think we're going to stay put? I don't think so. Everybody is moving forward here. This is a massive attack to take that hill back. We're going to put the pressure on them this time. Let's go ahead and see how this works. Oh, there we go. A massive assault by the enemy. I was concerned about this, although I didn't think they would come in this way. Let's go ahead. Move Coster up too. We want to throw a shell shot down on these guys because we just want these exploding rounds that throw shrapnel everywhere, especially when they're grouped up like this. That's the best thing to do. Let's see, Zook, can you start shooting, bud? Zook's up on the hill. I wouldn't mind you try shooting. And there we go. Our men have begun their fight. Amazing. Look at this. Stewart is on the move, man. He doesn't want to deal with this one bit. And I'm actually going to go ahead and move these guys, Webb and Standard, straight from Powers Hill up this way to assist our men. It looks like Day is on his way. He's going to provide a lot of support. And Biddle may as well move up too here. Let's take a look. Wow, this is amazing. This is a turkey shoot, boys. Unfortunately, the enemy is still charging, which I don't like, but we're going to try to hit Sems as hard as we can. But the enemy is down here below the hill. They're going to have to get up. Now, the one thing that they have working for them is they have a numbers advantage against us. So, should we charge down this hill? I don't think we should. We're going to stay put. Look at that canister shot. More shell shot for these guys. And boy, they're not liking this one bit. Of course, it does look like they're breaking through here. That's not good. Look at this massive Confederate charge. This is utter madness. Utter and complete madness. But they are doing their best to secure that position. Look at Benning's men go down. That's so cool. We're moving forward still. Incredibly, Tilton somehow managed to get over here behind the enemy lines. I'll have him engage. Right now we're doing okay, guys. We're holding the hill incredibly. There we go. More Confederates trying to test their luck against our lines. I don't think that's going to work, especially now that Baxter's arrived. Come on, Baxter, open fire. Barksdale is losing some morale there, and he's quite fatigued. Hopefully we can get a nice shot in the side there. So a few of the men are already opening fire. Look at that. Oh, that's wonderful. All right, we've got the whole Confederate army at this point moving towards the hill over here, and that's a position we really want to take. That's the crown of this battle. Of course, I'm worried because they're getting close to a uphill position, which means they're going to have a lot of support here in terms of firepower. But you know what? I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to keep moving forward. At this point, boys, you're going all the way to Richmond. I don't want you stopping. So here we go. Looks like we can also start moving forward with these guys. Of course, that means we have to take them off the hill, and that may not be the greatest idea, but at this point, I think we overwhelm the enemy so much that we may be able to make a push. Of course, as far as Kershaw's concerned, I'm going to keep up the firepower. And we may keep Coster back here, why not? Let's see, Barksdale's going for another charge. This guy has balls, I must say. But his men, unfortunately, can't get close enough. They're in the graveyard here, and that's as far as they're going to make it, as far as I'm concerned. Come on, Hall. Send him back, Hall. Send him back. All right, we may have to go ahead and countercharge here. We're going to countercharge with Hall. Remember, we have that uphill advantage. A lot of men going down here, and it looks like Barksdale is pulling back. Perfect timing for us. Of course, Kershaw is still hanging out there. But here we go up the hill. The enemy has put up a formidable defense. I want to make sure that Fisher gets this Confederate unit over here. Wow. All right, guys. The enemy is losing faith. As you can see, they are pulling back, but I don't like Anderson over here on our side firing at our flank. That's not cool. I may go ahead and turn Schweitzer over towards him too and get our boys up here on top of this hill. That would be perfect. I don't like dealing with the Texas Brigade. These guys actually, for those of you that haven't seen my match with Darth, watch it. The Texas Brigade, I think he used them beautifully. They are a really, really nasty brigade. They fight well. Boy, it might be turn to move Ducktail as well here. I don't like the fact that the enemy is moving a lot of guys up here to the north, but it seems that Daniel and his men don't have a lot of morale, especially after the absolute beating they took over here in this battle. But here we go, Law's moving up. And creepy fact, although my last name is not Law, I have a lot of Laws in my family. Some of them related back to the Dalton gang of the Wild West, and some of them possibly in the Confederate Army. And I'm a Yankee, so that's quite funny, but most of my family is from the South, at least on my American side. So let's go ahead here. We're going to move right in. This is going to be a major attack. We're not stopping for anyone. We want to go ahead and continue. We definitely want to take out those cannons because they're going to do nothing but cause us trouble and cause a problem for the enemy. In fact, I'm going to use Harrow here as a sort of I guess, force that irritates the enemy. Try to shoot them enough to make them move back. And there we go. The Texas Brigade always seems to come up at times like this. These guys are crazy. I'm going to go ahead and turn cross towards them and see if we can't stop Kershaw and Texas Brigade's charge. Looks like our artillery may be our saving grace here. There we go. Come on. Get Kershaw. Get Kershaw. We've got Coster on the way too, so we're going to have even more reinforcements here. I don't see how they're going to break through our lines no matter how many amazing Confederate fighters they get. Look at that. Harrow's going to get into combat here with the enemy, with Law. Law has decided to try to stop our advance with a charge there. Very, very brave by Law, I must say, although not necessarily the smartest thing in the world. Maybe we should move Coster here. We've still got Day on the way. Let's move Zook up here as well. And I guess we can move the rest of these boys up too, especially Von Gilsa and Bucktail. That is such a weird name, Bucktail. That reminds me, like, I'm surprised that's even a Union general. Just like, my name is Bucktail. Then again, believe it or not, it's a little bit of an untrue historical fact that only Northerners fought for the Union and vice versa. You know, there were plenty of Southerners that were supportive of the Union and not the Confederacy, and there were plenty of Northerners that were supportive of the Confederacy and not the Union. This was definitely a fact. So, you know, I guess a name like that is not that odd at all. Let's go ahead. We're going to be firing downhill with these guys, but I want to keep moving forward with Von Gilsa and Biddle. I'm going to get behind Kershaw and the Texas Brigade here. Wofford's moving forward to the charge, and look at this. Ooh, the enemy has saved quite a few men to try and take this hill back, and man, that's pretty smart. Let's go ahead and keep moving forward here. I may go ahead and eventually charge with Scanner, but for now I'm going to hold here so that we get just a regular volley of fire against the enemy. Have Biddle go ahead and fire on the enemy too, and we'll have Von Gilsa move forward continually. Look at that. The Confederates are doing a great countercharge there. They may manage to repel us off Culp's Hill here. Come on, Harrow. You can shoot, man. You guys aren't that injured. All right, there we go. We've sent O'Neill back. We've managed to hold the hill so far, guys. If we keep this up, we're in a very, very good position. They're going to move in with Daniel and probably Iverson soon, but I'm amazed we made Ramseur move back. Ramseur is, of course, my favorite Confederate general. Just a great fighter as far as I'm concerned. Here we go. Another charge, perhaps. We're going to hold it here. It looks like the enemy may have gotten the best of us with the charges. They're just a little stronger than we are, I guess. All right, let's stop there with our charges. We're going to stop moving forward. And look, they've got so much artillery cover here. They don't even care that they're bombing their own men at this point. We've got Von Gilsa up here. We're going to take that hill. Look at all the men the enemy have back here, though. That is intense. All right, let's go ahead and we'll fire on the Texas Brigade. Let's make sure we still have more victory points than the enemy. We also still have more men, so I want to send these guys up. Let's move our general up here. Alright, it's nasty up here on the hill. Looks like a lot of our men are actually pulling back here instead of continuing up Culp's Hill like that. So we're going to move them up again. At this point, we won't charge entirely up the hill, but I still want them opening fire on the enemy. And McCandless is still in combat here, so pretty interesting. Now he's no longer in combat. Weed and McCandless are in a nasty fight. Let's go ahead and open up here on Avery if we can with Von Gilsa. In fact, I think I'll turn towards the enemy over here. Turn towards these guys. This is the main point of concern. As you can see, it looks like they're bringing in some reinforcements there for possibly a charge. And at this point, I think we need to play it a little safer. Alright, still getting a lot of hits from that artillery. I feel like sending Fisher up there to deal with them, but that's going to be a really long ride, as it were. So I'll move one of our guys up, but I'm going to be careful, and I'm going to keep moving forward with Smith, Smythe, Webb, and the rest of these guys. It looks like Willard has taken on the job of continuing the charge, which is awesome. Same with McCandless, and we just want them to hold down here, even if we are downhill, and possibly just give some great fire back at the enemy so we don't get as much damage. Wow, our men are running down the hill there. The enemy is getting the best of us, shooting us in the back. We did this to them earlier in the match, so I'm not exactly pissed. All right, let's see. There we go. Another charge. Gordon this time. Although it's off center. I guess they're trying to get Harrow to move back. I don't expect that to happen. And there we go. Jones is back. We're going to go ahead and move Biddle. Move Harrow up here. We're going to move Von Gilsa up here on the right side. And obviously we've got guys here that can hold this position. I'm going to go ahead and have the Iron Brigade hold. Look at that. Look at that massive amount of Confederates. I want to get zoomed up here. Open up on Benning. There we go. The Tigers are coming down for another fight. At this point, it's just a nasty gunfight. Obviously, I'm getting pounded over here by artillery, but as long as I can keep the locations I have now, I'm pretty sure this is a victory. Move Von Gilsa up. There we go. Let's actually hold Von Gilsa right here because we've got such great shots on Stonewall and Benning, so I'm just going to leave him. Same with Harrow. I just want to shoot these guys. And we'll move Paul up too. Gibraltar. Let's focus all our fire on Stonewall Brigade and Benning's Brigade. There we go. Webb. Nice, Webb. Webb's actually stopped them with only 861 men. That is got to be one for the record books. They're pulling back here. The men are continuing forward. Unfortunately, Fisher's in a lot of trouble. Smythe's not. So we're going to keep shooting with him. The enemy is constantly counterattacking to keep us off the hill here, and I wonder why. Obviously, it's an important position for them. Let's go ahead and fire on Wofford. At this point, I want to try to get as many of our men to fire on these units here as possible, because I don't want them doing another charge, especially not with full morale. And as you can see there, we already got Iverson to pull back. I want to do the same over here with Daniel, and possibly with Wofford. In fact, I think for the Irish Brigade, it's better to shoot at Wofford at this point. Alright, we're continuing to move up slowly but surely. This is going to be our second real attempt at charging up the hill, so let's see how it goes. Moving everyone forward. Paul, everybody's going for the attack. Let's go, boys. Actually, I think we can keep Von Gilsa and Harrow here just as sort of trick, as it were, make them think we're coming from the right side when in reality we're not. And there we go. We found the enemy cannons, and you better bet I'm charging. I am charging with Vincent. Those guys have been a pain in the ass since the beginning of the battle. And look at those Confederates running. There's no way they're going to get away from us, and we're going to stop that annoying cannon of fire on our right flank. That should definitely help us take Culp's Hill. So I'm going to go ahead and move on Culp's Hill now. This may require some charging, I must admit. Go ahead and move forward. Let's go. Look at that. Our men are running at this point. They don't give a damn. Also, because I have the run button on, that may make sense. Let's move forward with this guy as well. And at this point, it is an uphill fight. I could charge with Von Gilsa. I sort of feel like charging with Von Gilsa, but right now his morale is very shoddy, to say the least. Poor choice of words, shoddy, in this sort of game, but oh well. And it looks like they have a pretty good defensive line here. I'm not so sure we can take it. If we move in here, we're going to get caught in a sort of circle. So we really have to do our best to try and come at them from another angle. But look at that. Vincent has utterly just annihilated their poor cannoneers here. There's no way they took any prisoners, not after the beating they gave our men. We're still having a gunfight over here with the guys over the cemetery, over Cemetery Hill, and still managing to hold it. Looks like the battle is on its way to ending. Wow. I'm still going to make a charge up to Culp's Hill here and see if I can grab it at the last second. Keep going. Come on, boys. Look at all those Union men going out. There we go. We've delayed the battle, and I want this battle delayed. I want that hill, no matter how hard it is to take. Let's go ahead, open up here on these guys already with the canvas. Let's get Krzyzewski over here to open up on Smith. And as for Vincent, we can go ahead and move to the back of the enemy. A little surprise. Alright, nice. Look at that. The enemy's throwing some nasty bombardments down on us. It's certain that they see our giant, massive men and want to do everything to stop it. I'm actually going to go ahead and charge with von Gilsa on Stewart. And I may very well go ahead and charge with the rest of my men once we get to the top of this position. Like I said, I don't usually charge with the Union, but in positions like this, sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures. So we're going to keep moving forward. If we can make it to the top of that hill, I'll be really happy. If we can charge down it, I will be 10 times happier. Here we go, Ames. Krzyzewski will have a canvas fire on these boys right here. It does look like these men are not nearly as full of morale as we thought they were, not nearly as confident. Although look at that, they know well enough to attack us on our left flank. I must say the AI on this game is just awesome. Go ahead and have McCandless. See, McCandless hung out for too long doing nothing, and because of that, we had to pull back. So there we go. At least this area is being contested now. And our men are certainly moving up as quickly as they can. Even Baxter's providing some fire to Ramser over there, and that's just great. We'll do the same with Dave if we can. Open fire, Dave. Beautiful. Look at that guy go down right there. And yes, we have secured Culp's Hill, guys. Once we get to the top here, a lot of cannon fire on shooting at us. But that shouldn't be that much of a problem as long as we can just hold the top here. So I'm going to go ahead and keep shooting. I'm going to go ahead, shoot over here, and look at that. Beautiful. This is exactly what I like. Got a tremendous amount of men here that we can bring up. We're just shooting everywhere. This entire hill is full of men firing muskets. The enemy couldn't be more terrified. So let's see what's going on over here. Now their best chance, of course, is going to be to try to attack this area. That's why the battle will remain delayed, because the enemy could still possibly take this part here. Of course, I don't expect them to, and at this point we can bring Baxter in as a reinforcement as well as all of our cannons. Why not? Make sure I'm not doing anything crazy. Look at all the men down on this field from both sides. I mean, that is a bloody battle. Make sure there's no other positions we can take here. And in fact, we're moving into the Vincent as well. Let's move Smith up, Schweitzer. And I'm actually going to have von Gilsa open fire here on Daniel, because he's attempting a charge here on Evergreen Cemetery, and that's the last thing we need, is to lose this position after just taking one. And there we go. It looks like his men just simply aren't cut out for the charge. They're so crazy and desperate for a win that they're firing on their own men with no care in the world for what they hit. But of course, sacrifices must be made. I understand that more than anybody. But we're going to go ahead and continue here. And there we go. Now we can totally assist our men in the defense of the Cemetery Hill area. So we're going to go ahead and move some of these men over, Harrow, Hall, etc., and see what we can do. As for Fisher and the rest of these boys, I think I'm going to go ahead and hit them on the right side. In fact, with Fisher, I may do a downhill charge if I'm crazy enough. Although, like I said, not a huge fan of the charge. Why don't we go ahead and open up right here. This cavalry unit, or this cannoneer unit, I should say, artillery unit. Let's go ahead and shoot at Gordon. At this point, the men here, their morale is finished. There's so many charges, so many failed attempts at taking this hill, and I just don't think the enemy has a fight left in them, to be honest. So let's hope that's the case. Let's move these cannons up closer to the enemy so that we can get some really nice shots off. Certainly aren't giving up, I must say. I admire them for their courage. You know, they don't want to give up this battle, but eventually they're going to have to say, time's up. I will hold the rest of these guys because they're actually putting up a really good fight here, especially at the bottom of the hill. So we're going to go and continue, but we are also doing okay. They've actually managed to send some of our brigades back down that hill, despite the fact that we have so many reinforcements here. So they definitely must have been rattled by the constant gunfire, the shell shock that obviously occurs in these situations. Come on, Wofford, you're finished too. Oh, Biddle is running. I didn't expect Biddle to run this entire battle. Damn. But really, this was the coolest area here. Just the massive close combat battle we had there. Let's go ahead and move up with Kershnowski. And actually, I'm going to charge on Stonewall Brigade. I know it's crazy, and I'm going to try anyway. Here we go. We are doing our own version of the Confederate Charge. And incredibly, the enemy's firing at us and not hitting a single one. I think that may have something to do with their morale. Their morale is so poor that their aim is off. That would be a really cool feature if that's part of the update. And it would certainly make sense. And look at this. The battle is still delayed. The enemy still wants to try to win here. Wow. Unbelievable, man. All right. They want to delay it. They want to delay it. What can I say? Make sure we're not getting any sneak attacks over here on the right flank. And we certainly are. We could go ahead and move all these cannons up, as well as Schmiffelnig, Weed, Standard. These are the guys that unfortunately failed the first charge. And those are their men down there on the floor. Probably thousands of men, unfortunately. But, you know, this happens, obviously. Especially on an uphill charge. That's just a situation where you know you're going to lose men. You know that men are going to die. But in this case, we had to do it. Well, we didn't really have to do it. We could have won this battle without taking Culp's Hill. But the name of the battle is Culp's Hill, so I had to make an attempt at taking it. And I'm glad to say that it succeeded. So let's go ahead and move the rest of these guys forward. Harrow, I want you to fire on Law. Look on Gil, set a fire on Law, too. He looks very confident right now. Go ahead. Iverson is coming for another attack. Look at that. That takes spirit for sure. The rest of the Confederate Army obviously is all the way back here, and they have totally given us Culp's Hill. I think they have completely accepted the fact that they cannot win this battle, and that's fair enough. So we're going to go ahead and keep moving forward. There's no reason to stop now. It's not like we're going to run out of ammunition, so let's keep going forward here with Fisher, with the rest of these guys, and show the enemy we mean business. As you can see, because of Iverson's push there, the battle is going to continue, so we have to keep shooting. Alright, what about Iron Brigade? Are you shooting, guys? Yes! I'm amazed Law is still in business here, for lack of a better term. The Texas Brigade's on the way. I don't like that. Texas Brigade has a really, really bad reputation of taking my positions, even though I'm winning the battle. So here we go. Thankfully, Stewart and his canister shot sent them back. Very few brigades can stand up a canister shot, let's be honest. Excuse me. Right, here we go. Ames, fire on Doles. And for Kershnowski, I'm going to have him open up on the artillery for this particular part. Alright, now the battle has got to be ending. I don't see how else the enemy could make an attempt at taking this position. But Law still seems stubborn. I mean, still trying to get into position to charge here. And it's very clear to me that there's going to be no room in this cemetery whatsoever for any of the men that died in this battle. I mean, there's just far too many men down. I can't wait to see the actual statistics here. I'm guessing it's going to be a very large number here. Alright, we'll keep, well, at this point, maybe we can stay on the hill. Look at that! That's what I was worried about. The enemy has a few boys over here. We could certainly turn to deal with that. They definitely had some guys on top of Benner's Hill. That's sneaky, but I knew they were going to have something here. Although, as you can see, we have taken the major victory points here, and we are in full control of the battlefield, despite heavy losses on both sides. Anderson actually made Smythe run. Ames is probably going to run too, and he even made Campbell's run. So very effective fire there from Benner's Hill on our boys. Again, I got a little overconfident towards the end of the battle here, but I don't think it's going to change our chances, and these guys are probably going to regroup right there on the top of the hill. Although, yep, there we go, Ames is already firing. As for Schweitzer, I'm going to have him hold here, just to let the enemy know that we're not going to chase them anymore. We agree to the ceasefire, and you guys can bring the stretcher bearers out at this point, because even I feel bad for them, really, and I'm the enemy. So let's see what happens. Gordon is still being annoying. These guys are still trying a charge. Although I don't think they're going to make it there before the end of the timer. I certainly hope they don't. And as you can see, Iron Brigade, Zook, Bucktail, they're all shooting at those guys despite the range, doing everything they can to get this battle end quickly. 420. Ooh. Weed's going to be happy. Inside joke. So let's go ahead. I guess we can move forward with Willard. Fire on him too. Stannard. Yes, we're definitely going to move forward with Stannard and open up. Because he's got great morale right now, great condition. It's almost like he didn't even fight. Of course, we know he did. Here we go. Minute and a half left. Oh, this has got to work out well. We've got to win this. The enemy is still going for another charge. That's hilarious. These guys really don't want to lose. But I'm sorry, Rebels. It's your time today. And there we go, guys. The end of the battle. An epic victory for the Union. So, yes, I'm definitely happy with that. We killed 16,000, let's just call it 17,000 in roundup of the enemy. Absolutely amazing. As for the best brigades, it looks like Cutler's Brigade, Baxter's Brigade, and Stewart's Battery had the most kills. Sadly, Stewart's Battery had so many losses that they are gone for good. Look at that, 1428. I'll take that any day. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed these Ultimate General Gettysburg videos, make sure to leave a comment down below, and thank you so much for watching.